What is up, my legion of leasers, my army of apartment maniacs? You got me, Matt Easton, founder of Leasing University. What are we going to talk about today? Get ready to have your minds blown. We're going to talk about tours because a lot of times, most of the time, unless we're on Leasing University pretty regularly, unless we're doing these live coaching sessions, which we are pretty regularly, it's easy for us to get off track, both mentally and in our process when it comes to showing the community, touring the community, presenting our wonderful community to a prospect. So we're going to spend a couple minutes today and we're going to kind of recalibrate, we're going to refresh, we're going to reinvigorate, we're going to re-inspire, we're going to re-educate ourselves around tours. But before we talk about tours and a tool that I'm going to show to you that you should be using for your tours, I want to talk a little bit about mindset. And first and foremost, the mindset of your renter. Who wants to unmute themselves and tell me the number one reason why somebody moves? What's the number one reason why somebody moves?
They're unhappy where they are.
Exactly right. They're unhappy where they are. We could boil that down to one word. Discomfort. Okay? Discomfort. Nobody is like, wow, it's Friday. It's amazing. I love where I live. I love my neighbors. Can you smell that? I love the smell of the hallway outside of my apartment community. I love the fact that my car has been broken into 17 times in the last 3 months. Man, that's awesome. It keeps my life exciting. Nobody's in love with their home situation so much so that they go and look for an apartment. Okay? Now, there is an asterisk to that rule that everybody moves because of discomfort. And that asterisk, and this is still discomfort, but I want you to realize this, about 4% of the time, they do love where they're at right now, but because of extenuating circumstances, they must move. Let's talk about what those extenuating circumstances could be. Love where I'm at right now, at my apartment in Austin, Texas, but my job has transferred me to Des Moines, Iowa. Love where I'm at right now, but we're getting ready to have a baby and one bedroom is not going to work out for us. So some of the times there's not really discomfort where they're at right now, but the extenuating circumstances, job, location, families growing, there are some extenuating circumstances of which you want to figure out that biggest reason for moving. Okay, we need the room for the baby that's coming, but also what did they love about their place before? Okay. Why am I talking about this for tours? I will tell you why I'm talking about this for tours. And you guys understand this because a lot of you are certified leasing consultants. Congratulations on earning your CLC from Leasing University. But most of the time, it's very easy for us to have that train derail. We're spot on. We're right. We're figuring out, okay, man, it's all about this person's discomfort. It's all about, and by the way, if I could only ask somebody one question if I was talking to them on the phone in order to get the lease, what do you think I, Matt Easton, founder of Leasing University, would tell you if you only had to pick one question you could ask a renter? What would I say that one question would be? Who wants to unmute themselves and tell me?
What would make you happy?
What would make you happy? That is not the one, I like it, but that's not the one question that I would ask. I would probably never ask that. Here's why. What would make you happy? $500 off my rent. What would make you happy? No security deposit. Right? When we ask questions like what would make you happy? Okay, a couple things of why you wouldn't want to ask what would make you happy. One, that is an open-ended question. Okay, it's not specific to the moving process. Number two, oh, do you guys smell that? Oh God, it's me, commission breath. Whenever we say things like, what would make you happy? What can I do to have you come home to me right now? What can we do to get you to live here? Okay, those are old school salesy kind of things to say. they're disingenuous, and the person can really tell you're just kind of trying to get the lease, right? It's not, a doctor would never ask you what would make you happy, right? So let's steer away from what can make you happy, what can I do to get your business? Who else wants to take a guess on if Matt Easton, founder of Leasing University, could only ask a renter one question, what would I say you should ask?
Does it make sense to sign the lease?
That is a terrific question to close them, right? That's what I'm going to ask if we're closing, okay? I've already shown you the community. We've already toured the community or gone through it online. I know what's most important to you. I know why it's important. I asked you what you wanted to see first, why you wanted to see that first. Okay, now I'm going to go into my close. Does it make sense to go sign the lease? No. Got it. What's a good next step? I'm not sure.
Can I ask you what made you leave your last apartment?
We're close with what made you leave your last apartment. Now, here's why I'm going to tune that up for you. I like that. But a lot of times you're going to get the answer of this. Well, I haven't left yet, right? I'm still thinking about it. So then that puts us off the track a little bit. So we're going to tune that one up, and we're going to say this. And you want to make sure, go back through your phone training. You want to make sure that everybody that you talk to, and I train you of when to say it, how to say it. So go back through your phone training, but just make sure, even if you're not going through the phone script, that you ask this. Hey, Justin, just out of curiosity, what's your biggest reason for moving? What's your biggest reason for moving? What's your biggest reason for moving? Your life will get a lot easier. Hey, just out of curiosity, what's your biggest reason for moving? Space. Now go through your GAI, gathering actionable information questions, right? Got it, space. When you say space, can you give me a specific example of what's going on? Yeah, absolutely. So I just got promoted from my job. I'm new regional manager at ADP Payroll. Oh, congratulations on that. Yeah, it's awesome. I'm super excited about it, getting a little bit of a promotion. But in terms of space, I'm in a one bedroom right now. It's like less than 600 square feet. It's pretty small. There's no real space to work. When I started working at ADP, my job was predominantly going out to companies and meeting with business owners one-on-one to talk about their payroll. And we would have what we call conference calls at work. We don't do that anymore. We have Zoom calls. I have Zoom calls with my colleagues. I have Zoom calls with my clients. I have Zoom calls with people I don't even know I'm having Zoom calls with. And where I'm having Zoom calls right now is in my bedroom. Not cool. Like my boss actually just saw that I have Batman sheets. Super embarrassing, right? For a person my age. When you say what's your biggest reason for moving, they're going to start to unpack, okay? Why am I talking about this when we're supposed to be talking about tours? If I know what somebody's biggest reason for moving is, I can avoid, and I'm gonna date myself here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really old. You people are not gonna know what I'm talking about. There's this person called Vanna White. She was on this show. I don't even know if it's on the air anymore. Wheel of Fortune, right? And Vanna White would always do this with the ding, ding, ding. The prize would come out, right? When I know what somebody's biggest reason for moving is, I can avoid a Vanna White tour. And here is our dog park. And here is our community center. And here is our fitness center. And here is our swimming pool. And here is our open space. And it's like you're 10 minutes into this tour and you forgot, oh my goodness, I ditched my renter back 3 blocks ago. They're still in the fitness center. Oh, silly me. I was just on autopilot, going through all the features of our community. Nobody is like, yo, I gotta move. Let me go to a place with more features, more benefits. There are certain things that above everything else are important to them, okay? So when I understand what's somebody's biggest reason for moving, why is that? Can you tell me more about that? Right? What research have you done on us? There's another great question to ask. If they already know everything about the property, and they want to live there, and I drag them through a tour, and they're already closed, they already sign a lease, what's the only thing that could happen on that tour? Something bad. to where now they don't want to live here. Well, I didn't realize that the pool closed at 10. I'm a night swimmer. I don't want to live here, right? Well, red Solo cups? What do you guys have a lot of parties? When you understand that renter ahead of time, before you start the tour, you can what we call curate the tour. Like a museum curator pulls different things for different exhibits. Now, the whole museum is still open to your prospect. I am not saying we're going to limit them and only show them specific things, but I want you to curate your tour. I want you to curate the experience. I want you to curate the words that come out of your mouth. So let me show you a little tool that I want you guys to use on your tours. And hopefully some of you are using this right now. It looks like this. It looks like a tour organizer sheet. A tour organizer sheet. Imagine that, right? We're asking somebody for all of this money. This is, besides who they're going to marry, probably the single most important decision that they're going to make. Okay? They got to go to bed here every night. They got to wake up here every morning. They're spending maximum dollars. On average, 30% of their after-tax income is going to us. So they deserve to have us be more skillful, right? So when somebody walks into the community, welcome, welcome, what can I get you information on, right? I'm going to get up out of my chair, welcome, what can I get you information on? Now let's say I only have one tour scheduled that day. I'm not going to get up and be like, hey, you must be Andy, my 2 p.m. tour. Right? That reeks of desperation. That reeks of nobody wants to live here. I'm going to walk over to that person with my sword and shield, my piece of paper and my pen. Welcome, what can I get you information on? Yeah, hey, I'm here for a 2 p.m. appointment. Andy? Yeah, Andy. Hey, Andy, my name's Matt. I spoke to you on the phone. Hey, before we get started, do you mind, I took some notes from our conversation. Do you mind if I go grab those and just kind of recap my understanding of your current situation with you before we tour the community, just to make sure that I'm on the same page with you and I'm not mixing you up with somebody else? Yeah, that's great. All of a sudden, this lease is now yours to lose because you're organized. Now I want you to go to your desk, grab your tour organizer sheet. Why am I not walking up to Andy with the tour organizer sheet already filled out and in hand? Because that's a little creepy. That makes it look like, gosh, I have a hot prospect, right? I'm so excited. I finally got a tour, right? Do you mind if we go over to my desk and I grab your sheet and then open your drawer or whatever, grab your sheet, right? Don't want to mix you up with somebody else, okay? Now with your tour organizer sheet, you're going to go through all of the things that you already talked to them about on the phone. So Andy, based on our last conversation, according to my notes, what you need is either a 2-bedroom or a 1-bedroom with a larger workspace. Okay, what's most important to you is space, because you're doing a lot of work from home. I think you had said ADP, you're doing payroll and you got a promotion. Great, that's awesome, by the way. Congratulations. Oh man, I'm super excited. The reason why that space is so important to you, Andy, is with the new job, you're going to continue to be doing a lot of Zoom meetings from work. Okay, I get it. We do Zoom. I have to do Zoom meetings with you. Have you ever heard of Matt Easton from Leasing University? I'm on Zoom meetings with that guy all the time. I can't imagine if he was doing them from his bedroom, right? I totally get it. We've got a lot of professionals here that live at the community, okay? What you wanted to see first was the fitness center. The reason why you wanted to see the fitness center first is it sounds like when you talked to me on the phone that you signed up for that Barry's boot camp. And you're paying them like $300 a month to have they yell at you and you jump up down on boxes. That sounds terrible. Sounded like you just wanted to get some cardio, maybe once or twice a month, right? No sweat. We've got you covered on there. We can save that $300 actually, put it towards getting you a nicer place with more space to do your Zoom calls for work. So what we'll do is we'll swing by it's actually right by the leasing office. We'll swing by the fitness center, pop our heads in there. You'll see we don't have to spend a ton of time in there. There's exercise bikes, treadmill, everything you're looking for there. And then I've got a couple units that I want to show you. 2 of them have that 2nd bedroom that you can use as an office. One of them I think is going to be perfect for you. So I want to show you that one first based on what you told me on the phone. And then I've got a backup that is a larger 1-bedroom where there's a nook there. Andy, does all that still match what you need? And you're going through your checklist right in front of them with these questions. Does all that still match what you need? Yeah. Did I miss anything? No. Has anything changed since we last spoke? No. Cool. And the other information that you wanted me to have ready for you was you had asked about bike paths around the community. It sounds like you got a beach cruiser bike that on the weekends you like to kind of cruise around. You don't want to get hit by a car. You'd like to be on a bike path, but you're not Lance Armstrong. That's exactly right. That's how I am too, right? I don't like cars, and I'm not on the Tour de France either, but I got you covered. We got some awesome bike paths. I printed those out. Please remind me if I forget as we're finishing up the lease. I can give you printouts of those. Awesome. Now you're going on your tour skillfully because you've used your tour organizer sheet. Now, guys, why would I want you to ask these 3 questions? Does all that still match what you need? Why would I want you to ask that? Who wants to unmute themselves and tell me, why would you ask that before your tour? Does all that still match what you need?
Their needs might have changed since you last spoke.
Correct, and that's why I would want to ask the 3rd question. Has anything changed since we last spoke? That's important for us to always ask that, all right? But we want to ask that one last. The reason why is when I ask, does all that still match what you need? I may have misunderstood them on the phone. They may have also withheld information from me on the phone. This is where Leasing University is different than all of your other training out there. No disrespect to the other training out there, but they don't talk about this stuff. People are nervous when they call you. People are stressed. Moving by survey is the most stressful life event. So when you ask people things like, what's most important to you, right? What's your biggest reason for moving? Some of the time, even with a ultra powerful question like what's your biggest reason for moving, they're going to withhold information. And when I ask, does all that still match what you need? Maybe now Andy is more comfortable to say, yeah, and there's something else we didn't talk about. Sure. What is it? I'm kind of embarrassed to say, but they put me right next to the dog park where I'm at right now, and this is so embarrassing. No sweat, right? It's nothing embarrassing. I have anxiety around dogs. I got bit by a dog when I was a kid, and if there's any way, one of these units we could look at maybe just doing it away from where the dog park is, that would make me feel a lot more comfortable. Sometimes people are not going to be emotionally prepared to let you know that kind of stuff, but gosh darn it, isn't it cool to know that before the tour, right? Because maybe I was going to show Andy some product that was next to the dog park, or maybe Andy is afraid of heights and I was going to show him something on the 3rd floor. Okay, want to know if all that matches with the need. Here's the other thing. You guys are amazing. Hey, you. Hi, if you guys are listening to me. Your portfolio is super dope, awesome, and amazing. Your communities are the best, all right? So you have a lot of traffic. I know what they're paying marketing. It's a ton, right? So some of the times we mix Andy up with Anthony, okay? If I'm thinking Anthony is the guy with the racing dog that has to run around the dog park to get her exercise out, and I'm mixing that up with Andy who doesn't want to be by the dog park, I would like to know that I'm off base with the whole you need a space to work and I'm talking to the wrong person. I would like to know that quickly. And you guys think, oh, well, it would be obvious, they would correct you. They don't, okay? People are really weird. They'll answer the questions we ask them. So that's why we want to say, does all that match what you need? Okay, the next question that we want to ask, did I miss anything? Why would we want to ask, did I miss anything?
Make sure you didn't miss anything.
To make sure you didn't miss anything, correct. And also, I'm going to break a Leasing University rule here. We don't talk disparaging about our prospects or our residents, but I'm going to do it right now for training purposes only. Do our prospects lie to us? Yes. Do our prospects withhold information? All the time. Do our prospects misrepresent their situation? 100%. But if I say to you, are you lying, are you withholding information, or are you misrepresenting your situation? I'm going to get slapped in the face, and I'm going to get a Google review that says, don't go there, they're crazy, and they'll interrogate you. But if I simply just say, did I miss anything? Oh, yeah, Fluffy. Fluffy? Yeah, she's a wolf pit bull hybrid. Cutest dog ever. Has only murdered 3 people. She's 350 pounds. You wouldn't think a pit bull could get that big. But genetic engineering from the Soviet Union made it happen. Right? Now they're going to let you know, did I miss anything? Yeah, 400 credit score. Right? Good to know this. ahead of time. And then, of course, the last question, as we discussed before, has anything changed since we last spoke? Yeah, 10 minutes ago was talking to Terrible Towers. They're offering 2 weeks free. Okay, it's just good for me to know these things. Here's another one that happens all the time that you guys, boom, you step on landmines all the time. I'm going to show you how to avoid this landmine. You show them the apartment. It's great. Man, it's perfect fit for them. And then after you've already shown them the product and gone through your close, does it make sense to sign the lease? Yes, they go, oh wait, I forgot to tell you. I talked to my current I talked to my current property manager. I thought my lease was up August 20th. Nah, I got to be in there till October 1st. And you're like, why didn't you tell me that before we started the tour? Because this unit's not going to sit open till October. And it's like, wah, 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 wah. Find that stuff out before the tour. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the tour. All right, before I talk about the tour, does anybody have any questions on the tour organizer sheet? Was this helpful? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Boom! Perfect. Let's talk about the tour itself. Okay? Couple things. I want you to organize the tour based on what they wanted to see first. Give them what they want to see. Also, when you're entering, if it's a model, great. If it's not a model, fine. But when you're entering the apartment, I want you to try and avoid talking in terms of, this is our B2 floor plan. This is our Harmony B4. This is 1,475 square feet. As you talk about the apartment community, as you talk about the unit that you're in, talk about it the way that real humans talk about things. What I like about this, what our residents like about this is it's very open feeling, right? It's very spacious. Don't talk, and nobody can pace off 1,400 square feet. Also, be using things like this. And I know this is going to require you to be a little bit more skillful. Because of, hey Andy, because of the fact that you said blank, that's why I wanted to show you blank. Hey Andy, because of the fact that you said you're doing Zoom calls right now, that's why I had this unit in mind. As we open, you can see right off to the left, here's that second bedroom. My thought was this is going to be the ideal space for your office. Okay, here's the drawback on this floor plan being a 2-bedroom floor plan. In a roommate situation, if you notice, your office does not have its own jetted tub and bathroom. You're not going to need that. That's why I felt like this particular floor plan was perfect for you, because you save a little bit of money in not having to do dual masters and have this awkward giant bathroom off your office, but a perfect space for you to work. Man, yeah, I love it. Awesome. We do only have one of these. Does it make sense to sign the lease? Yeah, it does. Perfect. What happens next? We're going to go down to the office. We're going to work through some links on the application. I typically get those back within 24 to 48 hours. As we said before in the session, now when you curate your tour, it's very easy for you to do closes, trial closes. Cool, I thought you'd love it. Doesn't make sense to go sign the lease. No. Got it, cool. What's a good next step? I did want to see where I'm going to be able to park my car. Perfect. Follow me. Let's go knock that out. Right? Here's where your car would be parked. Does it make sense to go sign the lease? Yes, it does. Unfortunately, with tours, we end up walking around, then we wait till the very end. A lot of us aren't even closing them, right? We're not even saying, hey, does it make sense to go sign the lease? And they're just walking away by. And then hopefully they don't run into somebody else that's been trained through Leasing University, because that person's going to go for the close. Notice when you say, does it make sense to go sign the lease? You're not being pushy, you're not being manipulative, you're not being high pressure. You're not even asking them to do anything, right? So you can ask this throughout the tour. If they say no, got it, what's a good next step then? Oh, I'm not sure. What's a good next step for me? Right? Just point the question back at yourself. Can you call me later this afternoon, like at 4? I just wanted to go grab a coffee and think about it. Hey, it makes perfect sense. It's an important decision. I think based on everything that you told me with the work from home situation, I think we found the right place for you here, but again, only you can make that decision. I just want to let you know on something. We are back to back on tours today, and this is my one unit with that particular office set up. If somebody does rent it, I do have to give it to them, but no worries, I'll work with you to find the next best one. Fair enough? Notice, I'm not saying if you don't grab this apartment, it's going to be gone. I'll work with you to find the next best one. That's a constructive and confident leasing agent. When I say, hey, if you don't grab this apartment, you're going to lose it, that's a slimy, oh God, the commission breath today. That's a slimy, manipulative salesperson. right? So be skillful. Go back through your closing and work on that a little bit. If it's a model, feel free to touch things, turn on the faucet, touch the counter. A lot of times people keep it just really cold in there. You want your prospect to connect with that space in front of them. If it's not a model, if it's you don't have anything, be confident. Stop looking at the world through your lens. Just because other people needed to go through a model and actually see the unit they're going to be in does not mean that this person needs that. And also, you have to save your residents from themselves. Far too often, if we're like, oh, we sound like this, I really don't have anything to show you. I do have some pictures, right? Be confident. Hey, we are back to back. We're slammed. Everybody wants to live here on this particular floor plan. They're all occupied, but based on your time schedule, Andy, and what you had told me, I do have one that is going to come available. We can go through, does it make sense for us to go through some pictures right now so you can lock that up before somebody else grabs it? Now you're actually using not having a model to your advantage, right? Why would we have what you want to communicate is, why would we have a model? This is the place where everybody wants to live, right? Like the most happening restaurant in town at 7 o'clock on a Friday night does not have a table you can go look at. It's like, do you have a reservation? No. You kill them. Seriously, you don't have a reservation? Open table. Yeah, October. We'll see you then, right? Be that level of confident that, hey, if you don't have a model, if you don't have something for them to look at, don't be a smart ass, right? But I want you to have that level of confidence in your head of, we are the happening place. Everybody wants to live here. Let me walk you through some photos, right? What's most important to you? Because of the fact that you said this, I'd like to recommend this. And you can visually walk them through in their mind the community. What questions do you guys have for me around tours? I'm happy to answer any questions for you. We've got a couple minutes left here. The way people rent apartments has changed. Today's renter has access to more information. Today's renter has more choices. The apartment industry needs you. Studies have shown that moving is the most stressful life event. The old sales training, well, it just doesn't work today. I'd like to teach you how to take the stress out of leasing apartments in a way that's meaningful to you and your renters and get you 7 times more leases. I'll show you how the perfect leasing process works. I'm gonna walk you through everything from answering the phone to closing the lease. I'm gonna show you how to determine your prospects' wants and their needs so that you can build value in your apartments. You will learn how to handle any objection or complaint. I'm gonna show you how to connect with your renter so it's easy for them to rent with you. I've taught the best property management companies and thousands of people just like you how to lease apartments. Property management is complicated. I'll simplify it for you. There's more competition than ever before. I'm gonna show you how to be number one. All of a sudden, your career, it's gonna make perfect sense. Even if you've never worked in sales or property management before. And for the advanced property manager, I'm gonna show you how to take things to the next level. Leasing University is a new, simple, step-by-step process that's effective. We're gonna help you become a rock star in property management. I'm Matt Easton, and this is Leasing University.